Hi there VC, I'm here with a little response to Adam Nicholls' question about early musical memories. Uh, I'm a person who likes musical memories very much. I'm a nostalgic person, so this question was very interesting to me. May even say that it was maybe made for me. But here is my answer anyway, and it goes. I have a couple of musical memories. I'm going to take them a little fast. The first one goes back to the early 80s. This may be my very first musical memory that I have. And I was living in an apartment in the middle of, right in the middle of Sundsvall, the city where I live. And I was in my room. The sun was shining in through the window, and I was laying on the floor drawing. And there was a radio hearing somewhere in the background, and the radio was playing this song, Barbra Streisand, "Woman in Love." And I remember that song getting into my ear, and for some reason it's been stuck there ever since. It created this very special kind of feeling. The song has a very cozy and very relaxing mood, and Bee Gees have made a terrific production here in this melody. So this song got stuck to me ever since then. Ever since I heard it the first time. I was around 6 years old back then. So it's a song that has been following me for my entire life. Moving forward to 1982, and still lives in the same apartment. And this time I have discovered the fascination about radio. So I'm listening to radio very much. I'm listening to music, even though I don't have any real favorites like that. I'm 7 years old then. And I also discovered that you can spare the music on a cassette. You can record the music on the cassette and have it for as long as you like. But I don't have an idea how to do it. I haven't discovered that there is something called cassette radio. So I take a cassette recorder and puts it near the loudspeaker of the radio and record it that way. And of course, it sounds horrible. The sound is not good, but I'm very happy because I get to save my favorite songs for later in some fashion. I found that tape many years ago, and I've been trying to buy those songs on that tape on vinyl to take them back on vinyl this time, and I managed to do it with most of them, and some of them are still missing, but I hope to get it one day. But one song that I definitely liked the most, it's a song that I recorded many times on that tape, and I liked it very much, was this one. This is a classic Swedish childhood memory. Banankontakt av tredje graden with Electric Banana Band. And Electric Banana Band was a children comic band consisting a lot of musicians with Swedish guitarist Janne Schaffer and at vocal two comedian actors, Lasse Åberg and Klasse Möllberg. And they were dressed as different animals and with little painted faces, and you can see here they have bananas as guitars. One journalist described them as a Swedish children version of Kid Creole and the Coconuts, and that's the best way to describe their music. And this song I liked very much because it was sung in a with lyrics that was very close to me as the age I was then. I could understand the entertainment in the fun in the lyrics, but at the same time the melody was very funky, very with synthesizer and so on, very cool production still. So it was I liked it very much, and I recorded it many times. There is a memory that my parents keeps reminding me of that I remember, but I don't understand it today, and that is that it was particular songs that I couldn't stand. It made me total cry when I was a kid, and I remember my mom especially reminding me of that I started to cry big when I heard. This is just the example. I don't have any single of this song, but this is it will serve as an example. I cried big when I heard "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina" from Evita. As I think of it today, it sounds very pathetic, but still, I can understand it. I understand already back then, being a 7-year-old Swedish child, what the word "cry" meant. And I found that was enough to make me realize that this song is very sad, and it made me cry. But I remember it, but I don't today. I don't understand why I did. I like the song today, and so very strange memory. But I still remember it. But then the biggest memory of my child is, of course, when I was at the daycare center in Sweden. When you are from when you're going from between first and third grade in school, after the day is over, you could be at a daycare center in the afternoon and have fun with other kids. And when I was at the daycare center in 1984, me and a couple of friends there, we formed a little gang that had the speciality that we listened a lot to this album, Alphaville's Forever Young. It was our favorite album, and we listened to it, we talked when we listened to it, and we had a lot of fun with it. And I became so fascinated with this album that I sneaked in sneaked in and borrowed it illegally, this tape that we listened to, borrowed it home, made a cassette copy of it, of course horrible cassette copy. I still haven't discovered that there was something called double cassette recorder. So I put one cassette in front of the other and recorded through the loudspeakers. But still, I made a cassette copy of it, and to have it, my own copy of it, and then smoothly return the cassette back to the daycare center. So I was very, when they're saying, when people are saying 1984 and musical memories, this one is definitely comes to my mind. Alphaville is huge, important to my discovery of synthesizer music of the 80s, and it was also, my daycare center is remembered as the Alphaville era. Moving forward a couple of years, Adam said a little about our first record buying, and my the very first record I bought was in 1986. A little late maybe, but still I was very I wasn't that fond of throwing away money, I might say that. So I remember when I first of all became a pop nerd, discovering pop music for real in 1 year early, 1985. I was very happy to record the songs on radio, this time for real, in the real radio cassette recorder. And I record. It was much cheaper to record on my father's cassettes from radio instead of throwing money on record stores and other stuff. But in 1986, a friend of mine, the same friend that I talked about in my jazz videos that taught me to learn jazz, he and I and his mother was in a record store in Sundsvall, and we looked around and I saw a record with an artist that I wanted to have for a very, very long time. I was very much in love with Paul Hardcastle's song 19. You remember the Vietnam song from 1985? Na 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 19, 19, 19, 19. I love that song, and I was very happy to find Paul Hardcastle's self-titled debut from 1985. And this time, just to have that song, I gladly paid I think it was around $7 it costed at that time. This vinyl, it was 1 year old, this album then. So I paid it, and I walked home and with very much excitement put it on my gramophone and went to listen to my favorite song, and got so disappointed, because the 19 in this version is an album version. It was totally different from the single version that I love. I got so disappointed, and I got even more disappointed when my hopes that the rest of the song would be just as much as sound effects and cool samples from news programs as 19 was. That it's none of it. The only, with exception from the follow-up single Just for Money, every song was just instrumental, smooth jazz, funk, soul tunes that was very smooth, very relaxing, and some were vocals that sounded very soulish, but it was not the kind of music that I wanted. So I was very disappointed when I listened to this one the first time. But I had now paid money for this album, and I gave it another chance. And soon enough, I discovered that this was a fantastic album. I still think today that it is a marvelous album. It's very relaxing, very smooth, and it is an album that is both beautiful in the production and in its creation, as it is nostalgic to me. So this is definitely one of my favorite albums of all time, among many others. But this one is special. It's special to my heart. So with that, I hope I have answered the question very good, and I'm going to come back soon with another clip. So hope to see you soon.